Good morning everyone, so lovely to see you all again. Welcome to your virtual assembly at home or at school. My name is Rebecca and I hope you're all well and safe. Today our assembly is going to be all about giving our worries and our fears to God, and in return God giving us rest. So first, good morning, the Lord be with you. Brilliant, and also with you. Now today we're going to hear from the book of Matthew in the Bible. Now we've heard from Matthew a couple of times over the past few weeks. Today we're going to hear about where Jesus calls us to come to him when we feel worried or when we're finding things hard, and to come to him to find rest. So what things might you or others be worried about? What things might you or others be finding hard at the minute? Some examples might be worried about going back to school after a long time, about your schoolwork, maybe for those who are starting a new school or a new year group in September, all over the news about the coronavirus and those who are having to stay at home during lockdown, people in our families and people at home, and people we know who we haven't seen for a very long time. These are just some of the things that you or others might be worried about. At the minute, there are many different things we might be worried about or finding hard, but today in our Bible story, it encourages us to know that we never have to go through this alone. So before we hear more about our Bible story today, I always like to start with a game to give us a clue into what our Bible story is all about today. So today you have a challenge. Oh! The challenge and game this morning is called the Strength Test. Now all you will need is 2 big bottles filled with water, just like I have here. I've got a milk carton and I've got a big bottle of water. Whatever you can find at home or at school to help you with this challenge. Now, your challenge is to see how long you can hold these bottles filled with water straight out in front of you. Okay, but you've got to keep your arms straight. So I'm going to give it a try, okay, and then you can give it a try at home or at school, and let me know how long you can hold it out for, straight out with your arms straight. Are you ready to take on this challenge this morning? I've got my 2 bottles of water ready and I'm going to take on this challenge. 3, 2, 1, and go! Arms out straight. The Strength Test. So see if you can give that a try at home or at school today. You might want to fill your bottle up little by little at a time and see how long you can hold it for. And as you fill up your water bottles or your bottles, think about the worries that people might be feeling and how sometimes it can feel heavy, like these big bottles of water. Now each day we carry worries, struggles, fears, many different things and feelings, and like the bottles, they can start to weigh us down. They can get heavier and heavier as our worries, things we struggle with, start to play on our minds and weigh us down. But we don't have to carry these on our own. God is there for us, and he will help lift these worries and fears for us. He promises and gives us an invitation in our Bible reading today. So let's hear this promise and invitation. Our Bible reading today is from Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 to 30. Jesus offers rest to people. Come to me, all who are weary, and I will give you rest. Accept my work and learn from me. I am gentle and humble in spirit, and you will find rest for your souls. The work that I ask you to accept is easy. The load I give you to carry is not heavy. Now, in our Bible story, Jesus is giving us an invitation, saying, "Come to me." He's inviting us to offer our worries and fears to him in return for rest. Earlier, we thought of the different things we might be worrying about, or others might be worrying about all over the world. And in our game, we imagined what this might feel like. Jesus knows right now all of our worries on our hearts and our minds, a weight that is too heavy to carry on our own. There are a lot of things we and other people around the world are worrying about. Jesus knows all of our worries and our fears, and he offers us rest. Jesus said, "Come to me, all who are weary, and I will give you rest." He's saying you don't need to struggle with the worries and fears that are on your hearts and minds. He promises he will help us to carry those feelings, and he will help us by giving us rest. So what is rest? What do we mean by the word rest? Well, rest is to have peace of mind, to be in a place of calm and relaxation, to be free from worry. So how do we take time to rest? What does the word rest make you think of? What are some of the ways that you rest? Well, here are some examples of mine. Lying down is a really good way of taking time to rest. Listening to music, doing something you really enjoy, being still, just being calm and still in your favourite place. Going for a walk, being with people that you love. For everyone, the ways that we rest are all different to each other. Some people might find listening to music the best way for them to rest, and others might find going for a walk the best way for them. Rest is something to give you time to relax and let this time help and support you. Now, let's go back to our challenge from earlier when we had to test our strength. You might be able to hold it for a minute or two, but do you think you could hold it all day? I don't think I could, because the longer you hold it, the heavier it feels. Now, let's say I had a friend who offered to carry it for me. If I gave you a choice of carrying these 2 bottles on your own or letting someone else help you, what would you do? I think I would ask the friend to help me. Well, that's what Jesus does for us. He's our friend and he offers to help carry our worries with us. We can get tired because of carrying all of these worries and fears. And sometimes we think that we have to do this on our own, but God promises us that we don't have to do this on our own, and he will give us rest. We can talk to God about our worries, but we can also talk to other people at home or at school too. By talking about our worries and fears, God is saying it will feel lighter and you will receive rest. So why not spend some time this week giving your worries to God and trusting him to take care of things for you? You could do this by writing your worries down, praying to God, sharing your worries with someone at home or at school, or by taking up God's promise of rest. Take some time of rest for you today. So now we're going to pray together, and I need your help. Just like we heard in our Bible story today, God is giving us an invitation to come to him with our worries and fears, and he promises to give us rest. God will always be there to listen to our worries and our fears. He also gives us other people to help us with these too. And then we are given rest from all of these worries and fears. So what might you be worried about? Now, it's okay to be worried about something. God will listen and give us rest. So let's pray to God using the words of our Bible story today to remember and know that we can come to God and others with our worries and fears, and he will give us rest. Come to me, all who are weary, and I will give you rest. Dear God, thank you for this Bible story today, all about God's invitation and promise to us. We thank you that when we are worried, in fear, or are struggling, we can come to you to help us carry these with us. Thank you for the promise of rest and for always being there to help us. Give us strength to encourage us and to listen to us. Help us to share this message with others this week, for them to know that they can talk to God and others about their worries, and they will receive rest. Help us to remember that Jesus said, "Come to me, all who are weary, and I will give you rest." Amen. Before we finish, I always like to end with a song. Now, today's song is one of my absolute favourite songs. Can you guess? That's right, it's My Lighthouse. And I believe this is many of your favourite song too. Such a brilliant song to end with today, as the song lyrics share the words, "I will trust a promise, and he will carry me safe to shore." If we trust in God's promise and invitation today of rest, God will carry our worries, our struggles and our fears, and carry us safe to shore. From what feels like a storm to the shore, a place of rest. So join in with the actions to this fun and interactive song together, My Lighthouse.
In my wrestling and in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. In the silence, you won't let go. In the questions, your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are my light, my lighthouse, my lighthouse, shining in the darkness. I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, my lighthouse. I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore.
Thank you so much everyone for joining in with our assembly at home or at school today. I hope you've enjoyed this assembly all about God's invitation to come to him with our worries and our fears and his promise of rest for us. When we're finding things hard, difficult, worrying, know that God will listen to us, will help us, strengthen us and will give us rest. So stay safe everyone, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon for another assembly at home or at school together. Bye everyone.